I am under no delusion that my videos will be wildly popular, because they have no tits, and they do have nice music sometimes, I believe. But I'm going to explain a little more about the video that I am uploading at present about my parable of George Soros plotting to destroy the planet by burning fossil fuel. Suppose you're a 12-year-old and you're going to conduct a science experiment, science project for your junior high school science fair, and all the other kids are going to make a volcano out of modeling clay and put baking soda and red dye in it, and they're going to spend a couple hours making their science project, and it's going to be a volcano. But you're weird. You really are into science, even though you're 12 years old, and you have the mind of a 12-year-old. You don't have the mind of a 60-year-old PhD scientist who spent his life doing research, who works for NASA, for example, and who has published articles in scientific journals. You're just a 12-year-old. Your mind is simple. And in this case, I believe that will work to your advantage when you choose to create two enclosed aquariums, two enclosed greenhouses, and all you require is some plants and some frogs or lizards or mice to shut them up inside these enclosures, so that the plants can receive sunlight and water, and you'll provide food for the mice, because even though you know that plants provide food for mice naturally, you're going to make sure the mice have enough to eat, as though the plants had provided seeds and mushrooms and whatever it is that that animals eat. Because what you want to do is to measure CO2 levels inside these two greenhouses that you're going to make. And in one greenhouse you will put an abundance of plant life and very few animals, and in the other greenhouse you'll put an abundance of animals and less plant life, and measure the CO2 oxygen ratio in these two greenhouses over time, and paying special attention to the response of the two elements in your experiment. And these two elements are the CO2 producing component, which is the animals, and the oxygen producing component, which is the plants. You're going to study the changes in these two components and the gas in the atmosphere, so to speak, of your greenhouse. And you'll start out with originally a concentration of CO2 about like the atmosphere of the Earth, which is roughly 400 parts per million. And you'll have, all you require is to borrow an accurate instrument to measure CO2 concentrations. A science lab, the university or whatever down the road is going to loan you this, and you're going to measure every day, take a reading every day, and plot it on a graph, and you're going to find out which of these two components is the stronger. Will the animals begin to outnumber the plants, or will the plants begin to outnumber the animals? I suspect that the plants will win, because the Earth is a model which already illustrates your scientific experiment many millions and hundreds of millions of years ago. there was a great deal of CO2 in the atmosphere of the Earth, and as time progressed, the level of CO2 declined and the oxygen increased. The CO2, a greenhouse gas, steadily declined, and actually the Earth experienced glacial periods where ice accumulated on the poles and began to extend down toward the equator, and periodically retreated and then grew again, coming in and out of glacial periods. And I theorize that the Earth is in a type of equilibrium balance. Noticing that the next planet over toward the sun is extremely hot, and on the opposite side of us, away from the sun, is Mars, extremely cold. We're in the middle, in a temperate zone, with an atmosphere, with greenhouse gases. Mars is a little bit too small to hold very much of an atmosphere. It's mainly CO2. And Venus is almost the same size as the Earth, with a dense atmosphere of mainly CO2. The Earth's atmosphere was, I think, originally very much CO2. It declined because of the presence of life, plant life, which if you'll look, get out your telescope and look, Venus I don't think has any plant life, or Mars. As far as I know, we've been looking and I don't think any's been detected. So that's one thing to notice about this aquarium, the Earth. Plants are here, and they are altering the physical nature of the planet's atmosphere. That's what I'm getting at in my little story about the insane billionaire who's going to destroy the planet by burning fossil fuel. He is the CO2 component in this aquarium, so to speak, theoretically, hypothetically. I'm speaking like Jesus did. I'm making a parable. I don't intend it to be taken literally. It's an illustration. It's a metaphor. It's an analogy. Okay, that's an explanation of the video that I'm uploading at the moment. For those few of you who care, and that's what I care about, is those few of you who care. I don't care about the majority who doesn't care. I care about the few of you who care.